I came up with a memorization method for the data rush event. So let me explain the method, then I'll tell you about the problems I'm going to run into. So here's the method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a memory palace for each of these different people, right? So here we have 10 different people. So I'm going to have 10 different memory palaces. Next, I'm going to have a location for each of the different pieces of information. So the name, job, phone number, address. But for the address, I'm going to have two different locations. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 different lines, right? The address is technically just one big line, but since it's broken up in two lines, might as well just have two locations so it's a little bit easier for the flow. So that's pretty much how the method is. Let me explain the problems that are going to happen. So this one's not too bad, but let me show you. So the thing is, you have different ways to actually memorize the method in terms of what information you actually want to remember. So for example, if I want to, I could just memorize the name, job, and phone number, and that's it. Then I could go to the next person, do the exact same thing. So I leave out their address, right? I could totally leave that out. But here's the thing. Sometimes maybe everything is very simple. Like right here, boom, very simple, the whole bio. So maybe I'm like, okay, I'm going to memorize the whole bio for this person. But maybe I get something more complicated like this. And I'm like, man, the address is too complicated, so let me just forget it. Well, what happens is that time where I'm trying to decide, do I skip it or do I memorize it, I'm wasting because I need to use all the time I have to memorize as much information as possible. So as you can tell right here, the 2 minutes is already up. And so that's how important each second is in this event. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth to kind of reload the people. And this is fantastic because you're going to see, the information is going to change every single time. So it's hard to say every single time I'm just going to memorize the phone number, name, and job. Because maybe the job is too complicated for me to create an image for. So, this might be something a little bit harder, the job. It's really long, it's weird, and so, typing that out exactly, because that's what you have to do. And that's why I realize is a little bit harder for this is I have to type everything out. Now, I don't know if there's some sort of margin of error when it comes to typing, and if you misspell a word or two here and there, if it's right still or completely wrong. And so, that's something I have to kind of keep testing and checking. But this is something that is a problem because I don't know what I should be doing every single time is, okay, every single time I'm going to try to memorize every single piece of information, but maybe it's easier just to memorize the first three things because this is the thing, these names, I'm not sure when these names are going to come up again, if I should create pre-made images for them or anything like that. But right here, numbers are going to be the easiest thing to memorize because I have a number system, right? Yes, I might not see all the numbers in my system, but I already have numbers for these, or I have images for these numbers regardless, right? I have Meg, Goku, Duncan, Shane. I have all these images ahead of time. So the numbers is going to be the easiest. The hardest part is pretty much everything else because I don't know what image I might use for that. Grains, I might picture a mill. But I have to make sure I know how to spell the last part of it too. And so all these things come into play and it makes it very difficult when it comes to actually memorizing the information because there's no consistency between all the bios from trial to trial to trial. Even within the own trial themselves, all these bios, they vary a lot. And so, I guess it's just going to come down to being really, really good at random words, being able to create images quickly, and be able to, memorize them. And so the method, I told you, isn't the method I would use if I'm actually memorizing, like a real person's information because they're not going to tell me, oh yeah, my name is this is my job, this is my phone number. They're not going to be so straightforward because one person can say, X, Y, and Z, then the other person can say W, Y, K, right? They can say just completely different stuff in a different order. So it's a little bit different when it comes to, actual interaction with people. I have my own method for that. This is a little bit different because, each bio has the exact same pieces of information, right? And so right here, as you can tell, oh, I forgot. I haven't actually practiced yet. because I was trying to come up with the method, right, just kind of reviewing the information, that they do have drop-down boxes. Now, the thing about this is, the thing about this is, you have to get to the right area. Yes, you could kind of, if you get the general idea for the job description, you could kind of type it in, right? But the problem that happens is, what if you don't know how to spell it correctly? Then the possibility is not going to pop up, right? And so, oh, I totally forgot about this. Yeah, I remember at the competition you do have this, which is both good and bad because it doesn't really test your ability to recall fully. You can kind of halfway memorize it, and you just got good enough, then you're able to actually find it because it has the drop down things. And so that does take away from the actual memorization skill. It's kind of like a handicap from it. And so I guess what I can actually do is maybe go through and see some of these. I don't know why it's doing that. Go through and see what the comment or what all the lists are, make images for them, pre-made images, but who knows how many there are, who knows if I can actually go through and see them all. And so this is something I probably would want to stay away from anyways because it's not testing my true memory ability, and something like this should not even be memory competitions because it's not even the memory aspect, right? It's if you're if you're close enough, you're gonna get it. And so that's the method I came up with. Uh, it's going to be something else, because I only did this event one time. Yes, at the USA competition, practiced many, many, many hours for that platform, which is kind of similar to this, but the places weren't crazy or weird, I had to say the things correctly here. Have to, I guess, spell slash recognize what the job or street or things were, right? Because I have these drop down boxes. But here, names, nickname, you don't have that at all. Phone number, you don't have that at all too. So those are purely memory. These other ones are kind of half memory. But yeah, so I just gotta try it and just see how it works. See if I have to leave out information or I just always go for the first 3 pieces of information. See how many points that could get me. Then maybe if I have extra time, go back. And there's a lot of different things that happen, and it's really hard to say what's the best option, what's the most clear-cut action to do, because it varies. One of the times when I was going through and just looking at the information, the job description, I guess the job was just like out here, like in the little box. It came out of this little box right here, so just like came out. That's how long it was. Now, would I want to memorize that? Probably not, because it's longer. Oh no, maybe I do since I could drop down and find it easily. So you have all these different factors that come into play. But for me, because I truly want to test my memory, I don't want to use any of these drop down boxes because to me that's cheating. It's taken away from your skill. It's taken away from you pushing yourself to be better and better and better every time you do this if you have this kind of handicap. So yeah, so I'll let you know what's going to happen. The next video you see about this, I'm going to do an actual memorization trial. I thought I will explain my method so you know what's going on. So if you see me, kind of skipping things, you're like, oh, he's skipping that because it was probably too difficult or he just didn't want to waste time trying to come up with an image. So yeah, so now you know what I'm up to, what's going in my mind when I actually go through and memorize this. And I told you, this is going to be pretty hard for me to do because this is a German site originally. And so everything's translated to English. So the translation might be off or the names might be like more German or something like that. So it makes it very difficult for me. So that's something I kind of have to work around. I don't really have pre-made images for German names or foreign names for that for the most part. So yeah, so there you go. Hopefully, I'll be able to do decently well. Well, we'll see what happens. And yeah, I think that's David Blaine right there, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is David Blaine. And so something like that might mess me up just because I know who they are. But I think that's David Blaine. So yeah. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you'd like to see, kind of my thinking process when it comes to, memorizing for an event, how I'm going to do it, what's going to be the best way, what are some problems I might come up with. Because at the end of the day, the only way you really know if your method works is if you try it and you keep trying for a decent amount of time, then kind of see, okay, wait, that was really going downhill. Have to drop it, or maybe if I tweak this and that, it'll work a lot better. So yeah, so I'll let you know what goes on when I actually do the memorization trial, and you're gonna see, and it might be horrendous. Okay, so just get prepared for that. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on memory techniques, how to do better in school, memory challenges, updates, and much more. Also remember to click the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are down below in the description. You also can check out these videos. If you want to learn all the memory techniques and learn how to apply them to all sorts of information, or if you want to start competing in memory competitions, you can check out my programs down below in the description. Look forward to my next video and get ready to get the best memory of your life.